It's a sad day for the boxing world, the boxing community. We're losing one of the biggest networks that has produced, the best fights we've ever had. We had Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Showtime pay-per-view, Earl Spence Jr., Terence Crawford, Showtime pay-per-view, Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, Showtime pay-per-view. It's kind of crazy to me to see how, such a dominant platform within the sport of boxing. It was HBO, it was Showtime. We've had these networks for decades, and now to see them, eventually go away, what do we really have left? We have ESPN with Top Rank, but other than that, there's DAZN. Are we going to eventually be, off main TV, pay-per-views for the rest of time? Is it all going to be streaming services like ESPN Plus? And we're hearing that PBC, Premier Boxing Champions, is going to go with potentially Amazon. Is it all going to be streamed events for the sport of boxing? I feel like that's not a good thing, because I used to like the option of just going on your TV and having the opportunity to buy fights, and now we're not going to have that. But Earl Spence and Terence Crawford was a big fight, and I think that didn't produce what everyone thought it was going to do. They thought it was going to do Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather numbers, but ended up only doing around 650,000 pay-per-view buys. But you had Ryan Garcia and Tank at 1.2, which was also, a big fight, but they did much better than, Earl Spence and Terence Crawford. So it just goes to show, how the cinematics of the sport of boxing, the drama, everything kind of plays a role in how long-lived a network like HBO or Showtime is going to last within the sport of boxing. And so now Showtime's not going to be signing with, Premier Boxing Champions. So Showtime as a whole for the sport of boxing, it's not going to be a thing anymore. Showbox, Showtime pay-per-view, it's not going to be a thing. So it's something we got to get used to. And so it was interesting to see Ryan Garcia and Terence Crawford. They got into it. Not into it in a fighting way, but they were talking on Twitter about how it's a sad day for the sport of boxing. It's a big day because they had HBO, they had Showtime, and now it's coming to a point where it's gone now. So we're not going to see those moments. We're not going to see these big productions anymore. So where are these big fights going to take place? And we're hearing about Amazon, but Ryan Garcia and Terence Crawford were saying that there should be some sort of a union. All the boxers, they have to come together, no matter what promoter you have, no matter what network you fight on. We have to make something big happen. It's a time for boxers to unite. And I would agree, you guys gotta bring this sport back to life. This is a bad look. We always compare boxing to the UFC, and I'm always gonna say that boxing has the greater history. But if we're not able to sustain these big networks, how are we supposed to make these fights happen? The only reason Ryan Garcia and Terence Crawford, Earl Spence, Gervonta Davis, David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez have been able to make so much money and capitalize on the sport of boxing and cash out from big fights is because of Showtime boxing. And now that that's not an option anymore, that's kind of a scary thought for the sport and the future of boxing. We want to see it, continue to grow exponentially. And now one of the biggest networks that was broadcasting and, being used as a network and a platform for the sport of boxing to be shown to people all over the world, no matter where they're living, no matter what time they're watching, they could all see it from Showtime. And now that's not an option anymore. So it's kind of a sad day thinking about reminiscing all of the fights, the legends that have fought on Showtime, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. You had all of these huge fights on Showtime, and now where do they go now? What's going to be the next step? What network do they go to? They talked about Amazon, but is that really going to gain enough traction? It's going to be so hard. We talk about ESPN Plus and how it's been difficult for people to watch those events because, you have to have ESPN Plus on top of the subscription. You have to be able to pay the pay-per-view, and it's not easy. It's not just like Showtime. Showtime and HBO, as far as I can remember, as I was a kid, I was watching Floyd Mayweather fights, and all I had to do was press a button that said, buy the pay-per-view. Are you sure you want to buy it? Thank you for your purchase. And that's how it's been. That's how it's been for HBO. And once HBO was gone, Showtime was the main one, the main network offering pay-per-view fights for the sport of boxing. And it was the same process and, so on and so forth. But now we're in a scenario where it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit sad because now we don't know what that platform is going to be. Hopefully, Top Rank is able to capitalize and monopolize the sport of boxing, make all the big fights happen there? Will that be the new network? Is it just going to be ESPN Plus? But you can't imagine that Al Heyman and Bob Arum are going to share ESPN. I don't think that's how it's going to work. Top Rank, PBC, it's not going to work like that. So I'm curious to see what happens next in terms of the sport of boxing, network-wise, production-wise, because Showtime, let's be real, Showtime, and before that HBO, they did the best production for lead-ups, promoting the fights, the all accesses, the 24/7, the fight camp, everything along those lines. All the production was so good, so solid from HBO and Showtime. The cinematics were incredible. The lead-ups for these kinds of major and mega fights in the sport of boxing were so big and so cinematic, and just works of art. And now we're not going to get that, which is kind of sad, but we'll see what happens. Showtime's gone, HBO's been gone. Are these boxing networks continued? Are they going to continue until everyone leaves and then it's going to be extinct, or is this just a new chapter for the sport of boxing? Hopefully it's just a new chapter, but let me know your guys' reactions. Ryan Garcia, Terence Crawford, obviously upset about Showtime not being extended to the sport of boxing anymore. They will not be producing any boxing content or broadcasting and being used as a network for the sport. So let me know in the comments what your guys' reactions for that are. I'm sad about it because it's very nostalgic for me. I grew up with HBO, I grew up with Showtime boxing, but maybe it's a new chapter. Let's be optimistic for the sport of boxing. But let me know in the comments your guys' thoughts on all of this. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.
That's going to do it for another NASFight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Mandabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.